So, hi friends. In today's session, we will discuss time complexity. Agenda for today's session is time complexity, and topics to be covered in this session will be the time complexity, and also we will see some pseudocode or algorithms, and we will try to find the time complexity for that pseudocode. So, what is time complexity? Time complexity of algorithm is the amount of time it needs to run to completion. Okay, so in other way, you can say the time complexity of an algorithm is the CPU time required to execute the algorithm, right? So that means uh, the CPU time is required to run your algorithm or execute your algorithm is time complexity, right? So time complexity or time required consists of two major parts, right? For the time complexity. So if you are executing your algorithm, so basically two major parts involved in that phase. So first is compile time and second is execution time. So when you run your algorithm or when you execute your algorithm, so first you have to compile your algorithm or uh, your program, and then you have to execute your program, right? So total time taken by your program and your algorithm will be compile time and execution time, right? So compile time and execution time. We are just concerned with the execution time, right? Since a program is run several times without recompilation. Understood? So we are just concerned with the execution time since a program is run several times without recompilation, right? When you compile your program, then then after first time it will not recompile, it always execute, right? So if you do some changes, then it again recompile, but once changes are done, it will not recompile. Right? So time complexity, as I told, algorithm time complexity depends on compile time and run time. Okay. So compile time basically depends on compiler, right? Depends on compiler, and compiler is a software, or other words you can say it is programming language dependent, right? And runtime, we are talking about processor, CPU, right? Or it is basically hardware. So in short term, you can say compiler have the constant time, right? So basically our algorithm time basically depends on runtime or CPU time. Okay, because the time complexity of algorithm can be computed by the empirical testing approach and theoretical approach. I think you have understood, right? What I mean, this time complexity depends on the runtime, because compile time compile time is depend on the compiler, right? And compiler is software or programming language dependent. Okay, so it will always be the constant of a particular algorithm, right? When you run all the time, right? So your algorithm complexity, your algorithm time complexity will depends on runtime. That's why I wrote this. Okay, you understood, right? So this our algorithm time complexity depends on the runtime. So you have understood, right? Our algorithm time complexity depends on the runtime. So we have two approach to calculate the time complexity. First one is called empirical approach or posterior approach. Empirical approach or a posterior approach, and second one is theoretical approach or a priori approach. So we have two approach, right? First one is a posterior approach, and second one is a priori approach. A posterior approach is practical approach. And a priori approach is also called theoretical approach. Theoretical approach. Okay. So practical approach means or a POST approach means it is programming language and hardware dependent. Okay. And if you are talking about the programming language and hardware dependent, so it will always give the exact answer. Okay. In millisecond, in microsecond, right? That kind of thing. And if you are talking about the theoretical approach, a priori approach, basically it is programming language and hardware independent. And that's why we will get the approximate answer. Okay. In this a priori approach, basically, we don't need the programming language and hardware. We will use paper, pen, and theoretical approach to find the algorithm complexity. So basically, our agenda is based on this a priori approach. We will consider this, and based on this a priori approach, we will calculate the algorithm complexity. What is a priori approach or a priori analysis? So it is a determination of order of magnitude of a step. So it is a determination of order of magnitude of a step. So what is a meaning of order of magnitude? So order of magnitude means amount of time amount of time for a for a particular step takes. Okay. So order of magnitude means amount of time for a particular step takes. Particular step, or you can say statement, right? Steps or statement. So in short, what is meaning of order of magnitude? Order of magnitude means amount of time for a particular steps or statement takes. Just consider this pseudocode where z equals to x plus y, and we have to find the time complexity for this pseudocode. So here first we have to find number of steps, right? So here number of steps is 1, right? And order of magnitude means amount of time for a particular statement or step takes. So how much time it will take? It will take 1 unit time, right? So order of magnitude for this will be 1. That means order of 1. So time complexity for this pseudocode will be order of 1. Okay. Okay. So now we have to find the complexity for this pseudocode, right? X is equal to y plus z, and for 1 equals to n, and x is equal to x plus y plus z. So first we have to find the number of steps or statements. So number of steps will be 1 and 2. Okay. Now we have to find the order of magnitude. Okay. So order of magnitude for this steps will be 1 because it execute a single time. And what is the order of magnitude for this? The loop will execute from 1 to n. So it will run order. So the magnitude for this step will be n. Okay. So number of steps will be 2. Order of magnitude would equals to 1 plus n. And time complexity will be order of n plus 1, or equivalent to order of n. Okay. Now find the complexity for this. Okay. Can you find? So you can try this example with by your own, and please put your answer in the comment section, and I will have a look into it, and accordingly I will reply. Okay. So if you have any questions, any doubt, so you can put in the comment section, and accordingly I will provide my input. Thank you watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe this channel so you will get the latest notification of the video. Thank you. Thank you very much.